Hello Shakers and Groovers, how are you today? Now, of course, big news. Adobe Lightroom, new version. Version 7 is out. So, finally, I might have a solution to what am I going to use with the D850 as my RAW processor? What are my options? As I have a Creative Cloud license, I thought I'd jump in with a shoot that I did the other day, see what it looked like and see what it felt like. So this video is me going through two options, that one and another, and seeing which one is best for me. So let's have a look. The Creative Cloud version of Lightroom came out yesterday from Adobe, and I did this photo shoot. I did this photo shoot 2 days ago with a comedian launching his new book. Here he is, being very, very funny. Haven't had a chance to edit the images, so you're seeing a mixture of RAWs and JPEGs. I have to say, very impressed by the D850 in these low light conditions, the focus and so on, fantastic. Like I said, these are unprocessed. Anyway, this is not a D850 video, although it's what am I going to be doing with my D850. So I thought to myself, what am I going to do? Lightroom might be a great choice, so I decided to, as I have a Creative Cloud license, decided to open it up and have a look just quickly if I could get through the shots, do the things I needed to do, and get a result out nice and fast. Well, I don't really know the older versions of Lightroom that well, but this seems like a quite simplified piece of software, and I think Adobe are very much trying to tie Photoshop and Lightroom together, which is a strange thing for me. I would like to have as many features in the one application as possible so I can apply all of my edits to a RAW file and then export and that be the final file. And my preference is to not go into Photoshop if I don't need to. And I would say 90 to 95% of the time I don't need to go into Photoshop, maybe even more, very rarely, because the tools in Aperture were enough to cover it. And the problem with Apple's photos is the tools are just limited. And it feels and it looks like to me that Adobe Photoshop Lightroom CC is somewhere halfway between Apple's photos and Apple's Aperture. So what are the other options? I started to have a little bit of a think about this, and I've been given some great feedback from people online, and one of the applications suggested to me was Capture One. Here it is, Capture One version 10 we're up to. And I've been looking at this for the last week, and I have to say I'm very excited. Capture One looks like the sort of application that is got the same sort of level of tools and capacity to dive in and do things. It's got a plug-in architecture as well, but there's so much power built into it natively that I can do everything that I need to do, and I don't need to jump out to another application. So right now the choice for me is Capture One, and I've found the editing in there to be very powerful and quick. This version seems to run well. The images that are coming out of the D850 are looking absolutely gorgeous. Look, this is not a trick. There is nothing here. It is 100% black, right? Well, near on it, amazing. Now, watch the detail recovery in the shadows. That is outstanding. But wait, there's more that we can do. If we want to keep the area above looking reasonably normal, we can turn the highlights up to protect the highlights, and then let's just lift the exposure a bit more. And look at that recovery. Look at that recovery in the shadow area. Absolutely astonishing. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. So the Nikon D850 continues to be a revelation, and working in this software, I find it to be a very smooth step from Aperture. And so my recommendation right now is, if you're an Aperture user or You want as much power as you can have in one application. Right now, with my limited look at both of these two applications, working with RAW files without having to go through Photoshop, and I don't want to have to go through Photoshop. I want a non-destructive pipeline. I want to be working with the RAW file. Capture One, for me, is absolutely the way to go. Loving what I'm seeing here. Absolutely loving what I'm seeing here. And look, this is not a paid endorsement. This is a guy. I'm a guy who's been doing this for 28 years who just wants to have the best application that I can for getting stuff done and getting it done efficiently. That's what it's all about. So that's my choice. Anyway, I'd love to know what application you like. I'd love to know whether you're a Lightroom person, a Capture One person, whether you're still an Aperture person. But for me, finding a good pipeline for the absolute king of the hill, which is the Nikon D850, finding a pipeline for the D850 that's efficient, non-destructive, and I can get files out to my clients fast, well, it's the one. It's absolutely the one. And look at this. Look at this quality. This is crazy. This is the D850. Look at that. The gold, the texture on the gold leaf. We can even read some sort of marking on the glass here. Holy cow. I am loving this camera. It is blowing my mind. Blowing my mind. This is the Nikon 70-200 at 200mm at 2.8. So I am wide open and still getting this quality. And it's handheld. You know, people talk about shutter shake and all these extra pixels being an issue. It's just not the case. Anyway, back to the point at hand. Capture One is the go. I certainly think it's the go for the D850. And I'm very happy to be not going down the Lightroom Photoshop pipeline where you just end up with too many iterations of one file. Crazy horse. Thank you so much for watching. Yes, Lightroom, in the end, is not going to be the option for me. I'm looking for a one-stop shop of which Capture One is going to be 95 to 100% of my needs in that one application. So I'm very excited about that. And one little thing that it has that Aperture did not, or does not, as I will still use it with my old catalogue, was keystone correction. So I'm very excited that that's in there as well. Plus, getting images out to my clients is quicker and easier in Capture One than it is in Lightroom. Although I do suspect that the cloud-based features of Lightroom will be quite powerful. So I will keep an eye on that. It's an interesting balance, isn't it? The reason I looked at Lightroom was I thought because of some of those cloud-based features, I might use it for my client-only work, and I would continue to use the Aperture, or in this case, now the future, Capture One, because that's where there is a higher level of editing in that non-destructive format without having to go to multiple pipelines. So anyhow, I would love to know what workflow works best for you. That's certainly the workflow that works best for me. And I'll be talking about it more. We're in a brave new world. I've been using Aperture for 10 years, and now I've got to finally do something new. It's going to be hard, and I don't want to be running multiple catalogs, but I'm going to have to. So for me, I have to make these decisions quite quickly because I have clients who need outcomes. Work keeps coming in every week, so I need to make a decision like this quite quickly, and I need a powerful place where it can all happen in one catalog, one set of files, and off they go. So Capture One is going to be where I'm at for that more powerful place. So please, tell me what works for you, what works for your workflow, and I look forward to more of your questions. Enjoy! And please, don't forget to subscribe and like and hit the bell. We love the bell! Alright, until next time, see you soon. Keep on clicking. See ya! And we'll end this video with a few outstanding images from the D850. Look at that dynamic range.